Hello guys, welcome back to another Pokemon One Punch Man video. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so starting with Chespin. This will obviously be Wolf. I just got to create Tears. So Chespin is relatively weak, it's just the first stage. Grass starter, not going to do much. Quilladin, I think is the same. Just a fatter version of Chespin with more health. Chestnut, I think, is definitely a demon. Pretty underrated, but pretty slow. More of a defensive one, more of a offense and defense kind of thing, which doesn't leave it with much room. Fennekin, just a Firefox. I'd say Breaks in as the Tiger. It's way stronger than Quilladin, that's for sure. Delphox, I'd say, is definitely a demon. It's got psychic powers. Okay. It's got psychic powers, which makes it a mage, essentially. That's what it's supposed to be based on, because Gen 6 is based on medieval France, from what I can tell. So, Froakie, it's just a bubble frog. Frogadier. I think Frogadier is good enough to be in Tiger. It's very agile, not as good as Greninja, but still pretty good. When Ash uses it in the anime before he evolves it into Greninja. Greninja itself, though, is a demon. Ash Greninja, much doesn't really change, except it's stronger than all the other ones on here. So, yeah, Ash Greninja is a stronger version of Greninja. It's got the Dark Water type. It's got loads of coverage. It's got Protean, really good at hidden ability. And no stuff like Gunk Shot, U-Turn, various other coverage moves. So, yeah, Diggersby is just... I think Diggersby is like one of the only early rodent mons. Well, it's not really a rodent, it's a bunny, but it's not a rodent Pokemon in this game. But I think just because of the whole earthquake thing and how this thing can pummel into the ground by using its huge ears as hammers, I'll leave it there. It's kind of like an excavator, you know. Bunnelby, just a rabbit. Fletchling, these are just birds. The Talonflame. I think Talonflame is definitely a strong tiger, but nowhere near enough to get into demon. Again, it's just another bird. It's really fragile to rocks and electricity, especially rocks and sandstorms. Can whittle it down too, so yeah, it's not going to be that useful against the One Punch Man hero. These are just bugs. I'm not going to cover all the Vivillon forms because they're basically the same. It's just a different pattern, there's no point. Litzleo, on the other hand, is a lion. It's a little baby lion, and it just disappeared somewhere. Okay, it's here. Little baby lion. We're going now. Little Simba. Okay, so next up is Pyroar. Pyroar, I think, not a demon, but definitely, I think the second highest tiger so far, to be honest. It is Mufasa incarnate. It's got Fire Blast. It's a mixed attacker. It's a very weird ability. It has Moxie, even though it's a special attacker. It's weird ability. But alright, I guess we'll leave it there. Female Pyroar is basically the same, so we need to cover that. These things are useless. Florges, on the other hand, I think is a demon. Definitely a demon. And see how it's sprouting? It's sprouting those plumes. It's like a flower goddess of some kind. Very interesting one, to say the least. Then we have... I don't know if I should include this. This is AZ's Floette. I think we'll just ignore it. It's just a recolored Floette, essentially. There's no point in really going over this. Skidoo, Go-Go, these are pure trash. They're just goats. Pancham, not that good. Pangoro, on the other hand, I definitely think is a demon. When this thing gets angry, this thing gets really fast, and it gets really demonic. We'll leave it in there. Furfrou, it's just a wolf, just an everyday dog that you would find in the real world, but slightly bigger, basically. Not really much to talk about there. So we'll leave it in wolf. All the forms just do the same thing. Esper, I think both, like, because Meowstic female, Meowstic male have different movesets and abilities, I'll count them as two different mons. So, I think both of these will be a mid-tier tiger, probably. Around here, I'd say, so yeah. As for Esper, Esper is pretty weak. So next up we will have Honedge. Honedge sword. Just because it's like a possessed sword, I think I'll put it in Tiger. Hot take. Well, this thing's a possessed sword. This could be some trouble. Doublade, I think would be around. I'd say it would be around here. I'd say. And I think Pyroar and Talonflame would be. No, okay. I think Pyroar would be stronger than it, but I think Doublade would edge out Talonflame by just a bit. So yeah, leave it in there. It's just a more sturdier Honedge that also has Eviolite, which is very useful. Aegislash is definitely just below Ash Greninja, I'd say, in terms of how useful this thing can be. We will just leave it there. It's Excalibur, it's like cows are a mix between England and France, kind of like Norman-like, you know. So, speaking of Aegislash itself, it's very unique typing, goes still, can be very formidable. You know, his King Shield, very unique move, signature move, so yeah, it's pretty good, honestly. Definitely the higher end of the demons here. And Aegislash Sword is basically the same, so there's no point. Spritzy, I'd say Aromatisse is barely Tiger just because of fairy type. Spritzy is useless. Inkay's useless. Slurpuff is also another one that's barely Tiger. I'd say we put Honedge at the bottom, put those two just above it by a bit. Next up is Swirlix. Swirlix is crap. It's just a cotton candy spirit kind of thing. Even though it's not even a ghost type, it's just its own thing. It's just any other fairy type you would find in these games. Gen 6 onwards when they have the fairy type. Malamar is definitely up there. It's definitely stronger than Florges and Pangoro, I'd say. It has a unique ability called Contrary. It can reverse its stats, so if it does superpower, instead of lowering its stats, it will buff them. Even though it didn't have superpower as a stab move, essentially, because it's a dark and psychic. Relatively slow, this thing will get shredded by U-turns from Sizors and Mega Pincers, so yeah, we'll leave it at that. The Binnacle, just a rock. Barbaracle. Nah, I don't think Barbaracle... Okay, hot take, Barbaracle was a demon. I think it's the weakest demon so far, I'd say. But definitely just edging the cut for demon tier, I'd say. Just look at this thing, it's got so many arms. This is a Meso Shoji of Pokemon, Barbaracle. Skrelp. Dragalge, definitely edging it up there. I put Dragalge there. Very weird stats, like very weird stat spread, very unique. Poison Dragon, also a very unique typing, I'd say. It's very weird. Pokemon, it's like a upgraded Kingdra, but with the poison type. It's a weird Seahorse Dragon looking thing. Also knows Draco Meteor, very cool. But it's not pseudo legendary, so it won't be in Dragon. Next up is Clauncher. It's just a lobster turned into a water pistol. Need I say more? Clawitzer, on the other hand. Just because this thing can't come out of water, I'll put it in Tiger. This thing's got a very strong Hydro Blast, but at the end of the day, it's just another fish that will die if it comes out of water. So yeah. Okay, so next up, I'd say we have... Okay, Helioptile, thing's useless. Heliorisk, I'd say Heliorisk is the upper end of Tiger. We'll put this thing about here, I'd say. Heliorisk is the definition of meh, kind of forgettable. Has a unique gimmick with the sun, even though it's an electric normal type. Found in deserts for some reason. It's kind of like a reference to the sun god in Greek mythology, I believe, even though It originates from a region based on France. Tyrant is a dinosaur, but a small dinosaur. Tyrantrum, on the other hand, is a big boy. Big dinosaur with a big ass beard too. Just look at this thing. It has a cape and it has a beard, and it's also a dinosaur, and it has like eyebrows protruding from its head that makes it have a crown as well. So this thing really is the goat, the king, you know. Armorer is wolf, I'd say. It's just another small dinosaur. Aurorus, yeah, put Aurorus in Demon. It's very frail, but packs a punch too. It also has snow warning, the hidden ability. So yeah, we'll give it that. Hawlucha, definitely up there on the demon scale. Probably about here, just lower than Pangoro. Actually, no, because I'll put it above Pangoro because it's faster. So Hawlucha, yeah, this is a very tough mon. This is one that's pretty unique. It is a luchador wrestler, even though it's in a region set in France. It should have been like a Mexican or Spanish region, but they put it in a French region. Oh well, okay. Next up, speaking of the lucha, it's got acrobatics, it's got flying press, got those kind of fashion oriented moves. Okay, next up, Sylveon. Sylveon is a demon. Fairy moves, also some other coverage moves, all those pesky poison types, psychic, so yeah, I'll leave it there. Cobink is useless, just throw a bit of metal on it and it will just disintegrate. Goomy, also useless. Sliggoo can be trouble. I'll give Sliggoo what it's worth. Sliggoo can be a tough cookie. It's reasonably bulky for a second stage dragon pseudo legendary pre-evolution. It's also got slimy, even though it's not poison type. It's got poison for coverage against fairies, so we'll give it that. Goodra, on the other hand, I don't see Goodra ever being a dragon. I'm sure it's got Draco Meteor, but it really isn't all that special, I'd say. I'd say Haxorus is even stronger than Goodra. Goodra's just too slow. It's a bit of a tank. Other than Draco Meteor, it can't do that much back. And against fairies, this thing is done. It's toast. It's screwed. It can handle ice types, Fire Blast, but Fire Blast is hit or miss. So yeah, it's a very weird Pokemon. Dedenne is a Pikachu clone. Klefki is just sentient keys, essentially. Phantump is a just because this thing is like a tree spirit and whatnot, I'll put it in Tiger, but barely. It can kind of haunt things. Trevenant, on the other hand, I think Trevenant is definitely on the upper echelon of Demon, probably mid-tier, reaching to high tier. They're probably about stronger than Florges, but weaker than Malamar, I'd say. It's got Horn Leech, very unique move, very unique typing. Ghost Grass, first of its kind, I believe. It's got those big ass tree fists. It's got those octopus-like tentacles. It's very underrated and forgotten Pokemon. I wish people talked about this thing a lot more. I forgot it was even in Sword and Shield. So yeah. In fact, this is just a pumpkin. I'd say, I don't know. Phantom can be Tiger, and maybe Pumpkin can too, because it's bulky. Gourgeist is similar to Treven, but I think it's a bit weaker. It's probably weaker than Hawlucha, but a bit stronger than Pangoro, I'd say. Pangoro is about the fight. Gourgeist is about the tactics. It's ghost, grass type. It can spook you out and entrench you in vines and whip you with them. So yeah, pretty weird, but pretty cool. And strong. Can definitely hold its own. Bergmite, just a sentient little iceberg monster. Avalo, a stronger iceberg monster. I'd put it in Demon, to be honest. So yeah, we'll put it in Demon. It's a bit of a tank. It can do a lot back, but it's hit or miss. But I'd say solid Demon. Noibat is just a bat. Noivern is Noivern. I like Noivern. I think Noivern will be I think Noivern is weaker than Delphox, but stronger than Chestnut. Yes, I do think this thing's stronger than one of the starters. Hot take. But still, I think Supersonic, like the wing attacks, and and this thing making it go, final from them sound beams, I guess that's what you want to call it. Sound beams. Sound beams are pretty cool. So yeah, Noivern, it's very unique for a dragon type. Okay. We'll start for this. Okay, we're on to legendaries now. Xerneas, Bringer of Life, God, easy. Yveltal, Darkness. Yeah, just because of the whole darkness thing, I think Yveltal will be God. Haven't had a dragon yet. Zygarde, yeah, Zygarde's definitely God. Earthquake, Dragon, compiles Dragon Beams, Pulses. It has the whole cell thing, it can divide cells, corrupt things. It's a corruption Pokemon, in a way. This Zygarde, like dog forms only demon. Like ultimate, like mega upgraded Zygarde thingy, Zygarde 100%. Now we'll just put base up, and we'll just move this base Zygarde down to Dragon. It's already pretty good, but God Zygarde, this fusion thing, I'd say, is definitely living up to its name, being the God Zygarde. Okay, Diancie, Crystal Girl. Nah, this is, I can't tell if this is Diancie or Mega Diancie. Okay, this is Base Diancie. Base Diancie, it's a mythical, one of the only mythicals of a Mega, I'm pretty sure. Definitely Dragon, I don't think Diancie is a God, that's a bit of a stretch, but definitely strong mon to come by. Rock Fairy, also a really unique typing. Mega Diancie on the other hand, not a God, but it's stronger than Base Diancie, but weaker than Z-Guard, so yeah, we'll put it there. Hoopa. Base Hoopa, I'd say, is a low dragon. I'd say it's stronger than Undozen and Demon, definitely. So we'll leave it in there. It's kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog in the Sonic movie. I could throw rings around using its teleporters. We're on our final two mons. Big Fisty Hooper with more rings and more hands. I'll put it in God, honestly. This really is one of the more stronger mons, I'd say, to be honest. So I think we'll be good leaving it in there. So it's just got more power, more fists, more rings to throw and teleport shit with. Make things go all over the place. Another pretty strong psychic mythical. Okay, here is our final mon. Volcanion, I'll put it here. Stronger than Diancie. You know. Yeah, I'd say it's stronger than Diancie. But weaker than Mega Diancie and Zygarde. So, yep. It's Water Fire, very unique typing. Very hard to come by. This thing is also a mythical and not a legendary. It's got that whole like Hydro Fire, like double elemental ring, what's the word? Rubber ring that you get in pools. It's kind of got that one of those attached to its neck and its back. This thing is having really bad spinal problems. So yeah, kind of weird, but whatever, and I think that is it. Yeah, that is it. That is my tier list for Gen 6 in terms of how these Pokemon would face off against One Punch Man heroes, from God to Wolf and everything in between. So yeah, thank you for watching, goodbye.